welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. Now the news in full. As a temporary response to the nation's growing food crisis and the rising price of commodity, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ordered the immediate release of more than 102,000 metric tons of various grain types from strategic reserves and the Rice Millers Association of Nigeria. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, revealed this to a State House correspondent after the final leg of 3 meeting of the Special Presidential Committee on Emergency Food Intervention at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. The divergent arrangements agreed upon at the final session. Idris stated that the first one is that the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has been directed to release about 42,000 metric tons of maize, millet, gari, and other commodities in their strategic reserves so that these items will be made available to Nigerians, 42,000 metric tons immediately. The proposed meeting between senators and Nigerian security chiefs on the security situation of the country has been postponed due to the absence of some heads of intelligence agencies. Meanwhile, some security chiefs were at the Senate to discuss the spate of insecurity across the country. Uyi Agbomefuegbe has the rest of the story.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who made the announcement during plenary, explained that the decision was taken in order to accommodate everyone involved. The Senate President directed the Clerk of the Senate to expand the invitees list to cover all service chiefs, National Security Advisor, Finance Minister, Interior Minister, Defense Minister, Minister of State for Defense, and the Minister of Police Affairs.
It's important to know that we represent the Nigerian people, and we can only do the will of the Nigerian people. And our job is to complement the efforts of the executive and then also to assist the executive to succeed. Because if the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not succeed, it means that we have all failed. It means that Nigeria has failed. So the Senate will agree with me in view of the fact that the people we have mentioned are not here, the personnel we have mentioned are not here, and we need their presence to have a holistic and complete discussion on the security situation in the country. So is it the view of the Senate that this be moved to Tuesday, the 13th day of February 2023? Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Next week's security briefing, which is likely to hold behind closed doors, is expected to address the security problems facing Nigeria, including terrorism, kidnapping, and banditry. Uyi Agbomefuegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
A former Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has called for the review of tenancy laws in states to compel landlords to collect rents monthly. Fashola spoke during the launch of his book titled Nigerian Public Discourse, The Interplay of Empirical Evidence and Hyperbole in Lagos. He said that advance payments of rent up to 3 years or more was overwhelming tenants. According to him, many houses are unoccupied due to the way rents are being collected. He urged other states to copy the tenancy bill passed by the Lagos State House of Assembly in 2011, which criminalized the collection of rent over 1 year in advance from a new tenant. Over now to World Bank, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, and other development partners have made commitments to support Nigerian school feeding program. This follows the federal government's decision to embark on a public-private partnership to enhance investments in feeding of school children in the country. Speaking during a school feeding stakeholder strategic meeting with the theme, Public-Private Partnerships and Innovative Financing to Enhance Investments in School Feeding in Nigeria, in Abuja, the representative of the World Bank, Dr. Tunde Adekola, said the bank would support the initiative. He added that the World Bank is working with other development partners to continue leverage to support the program and that they are willing to support government of Nigeria to be able to achieve this objective. The Military High Command says its troops in last week's arrested 6 suspected violent extremists in the Federal Capital Territory. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, stated this while addressing newsmen on the activities of troops across the country. According to him, troops across the 6 geopolitical zone of the country have remained undeterred by prevailing circumstances as they continue to exhibit remarkable determination and sacrifice in pursuit of this noble goal. Kikelomo Okere tells us more.
Addressing newsmen amidst recent security upheavals nationwide, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says the armed force overarching objective remains the restoration of peace and security and ensuring citizens can enjoy a life free from fear and uncertainty. According to him, the armed forces have continued to deal significant blow on terrorists with significant successes recorded. He explained that troops of Operation Will Punch raided extremist enclave in the FCT and arrested a notorious criminal, Badimosi Mohammed, and 6 others with 2 kidnapped victims rescued in Kuje and Gwagwalada Area Council.
Operation Wild Punch recorded the following during the week. The troops arrested suspected insurgents in Kachia local government area of Kaduna State, as well as Gwagwalada and Kuje local government areas of the FCT. Troops arrested suspected kidnappers in Kuje and Gwagwalada local government areas of the FCT. They conducted raid in Lafia local government area, as well as Kagarko and Chikum local government areas of Kaduna State. Troops foiled a kidnap incident in Abuja Municipal Area Council of the FCT and Munya local government area of Niger State. Overall, troops of Operation Wild Punch arrested 11 violent extremists and rescued 2 kidnapped hostages. Troops also recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 assault rifle, among other items.
General Buba further stated that troops in their various theaters of operation across the country also neutralized 266 violent extremists and arrested 463 of them, while 116 kidnapped hostages were rescued.
In the month of January, troops recorded the following. We neutralized 266 terrorists. We arrested 463 of them, and we rescued 116 kidnapped hostages. We also recovered 447 assorted weapons and over 6,690 assorted ammunition. We denied the oil theft of close to 3 billion naira just in the month of January.
The director, while commending the troops for their dedication and sacrifices, tasked Nigerians to continue to provide prompt and credible information to security agencies to help win the war against insecurity. However, a minute's silence was observed in honor of security agents who paid the supreme price for their fatherland.
House of Representatives has passed the Electoral Act 2022 Amendment Bill for second reading, brightening the prospect for electronic transmission of election results to minimize fraud in the nation's electoral process. The bill seeks to amend selected sections of the current Electoral Act to provide for the re-registration of voters, same-day elections, electronic transmission of results, as well as punishment for frivolous election petitions. Debating the general principle of the bill, Honorable Wave lamented the gap in the current Electoral Act 2022, noting that an amendment of the law to pave the way for the electronic transmission of election results will help the nation's democracy. Similarly, the House of Representatives has resolved the proven-led certificate racketeering by Nigerian students in collision with some officials of government, ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs. This followed the adoption of a motion by Rep. Abubakar Fulata, APC Jigawa, at plenary in Abuja. Adopting the motion, the House condemned in its entirety the act of certificate racketeering by Nigerian students in collision with some MDAs. The House mandated its Committee on University Education to investigate the matter and identify those involved. mandated a committee to identify officials of MDAs and other involved, as well as identify the students that had benefited from such institutions and their campuses in Nigeria. Moving on now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has raised a special task force in all its zonal command to enforce extant laws against currency mutilation and dollarization of the economy. The Anti-Graft Agency spokesperson Dele Oyewale said this in a statement in Abuja. According to him, the task force inaugurated by the chairman of the commission, Ola Olukoyede, is to protect the economy from abuse, leakages, and distortion that expose it to inability and disruptions. Also, perpetrators of private universities and other institutions of higher learning charging fees in dollars have been invited by the commission. Still on the news, the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, will enroll all Nigerians, including cancer patients, into the health insurance scheme. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Daju Kachom, has said, speaking at a symposium organized by the ministry in collaboration with the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, NICRA, Kachom said the prevalence of cancer is rising at an alarming rate. The federal government, she said, remained deeply committed to the fight against the disease and has recorded significant strides. She said it is estimated that over 124,000 new cases of cancer were recorded in Nigeria in the year 2020, which resulted in 78,899 deaths. The Director General of the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, NICRAT, Professor Usman Aliyu, said the theme of this year's World Cancer Day, Close the Care Gap, operationalizing the National Strategic Cancer Control Plan, underscores the urgent need to bridge the disparities in cancer care and treatment. He said the country has made significant progress in raising awareness about the causes, symptoms, and prevention of cancer. The Independent National Electoral Commission has issued certificates of return to winners of Saturday's rerun and by-elections. At the end of the election exercise, 7 political parties won seats in both the National and State House of Assembly. The parties are the Action Democratic Party, All Progressive Congress, All Congress Grand Alliance, Labour Party, New Nigerian People's Party, People's Democratic Party, and the Young Progressive Party. Uyi Agbomofuegbe tells us more.
Certificate presentations were done by INEC national commissioners representing each of the states where the rerun and by-elections were conducted and winners declared by the commission. The national commissioners include May Agbamuche Mbu, Baba Bila, Kudu Haruna, Sam Olumeku, Modibo Alkali, Kunle Ajayi, Kenneth Sukagu, Abdullahi Zuru, and Rhoda Gumos. The senators-elect who were presented with the certificates of return at INEC headquarters in Abuja were Professor Anthony Okorie, Ebonyi South Senatorial District, Ebonyi APC, PAM, Danchungyang, Plateau North Senatorial District, Plateau ADP, and Musa Mustafa, Yobe East Senatorial District, APC, Yobe State, among others. Speaking with journalists shortly after collecting his certificate, Danchungyang expressed happiness over his victory while promising to tackle insecurity in the plateau.
And we pray that God will give us the wisdom to face the challenges. The beautiful thing about life is that my constituency, Plateau North, reposed trust in me and gave me this mandate. I cannot claim any glory to any individual, first to my party and the whole of Plateau State. Any other political party that joined and gave me this mandate, I'm very happy. And the beautiful part of it is that I've won. And now I'm being put in the position to do the best for everybody who is under that under my zone.
I want to say thank you for they stood by me all this while. They know that as a woman, I have what it takes to bring back the deliverables of democracy down to the people. And what I'm assuring them here is I won't let them down. I'll give them effective representation of the best ever.
Recall that on February 3rd, 2024, the Independent National Electoral Commission had conducted legislative by-elections and rerun elections across 26 states of the country. Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
Abia State High Court sitting in Umuahia has adjourned to February 16th. A 1.5 billion naira defamation suit filed by ex-governor Theodore Orji against the chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Prince Benjamin Apugo, the trial judge, Justice A.O. Chijoke, observed a delay in the process that had been filed since 2020 and ordered that the defendant must appear in court on the next adjourned date. He said that the trial would begin on the next adjourned date with or without the presence of the defendant. The trial judge directed the clerk of the court to represent the appearance notice to the defendant for him to appear on the next adjourned date. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos yesterday ordered the federal government to fix the price of petrol, diesel, kerosene, and other goods within 7 days from February 7, 2024. Trial Judge Justice Ambrose Louis Albagua specifically ordered the government to fix the prices of milk, flour, salt, sugar, bicycle and its spare parts, matches, motorcycles and its spare parts, motor vehicles and its spare parts, as well as petroleum products including diesel, premium motor spirit, PMS, and kerosene. The court made the order in its judgment in a suit by the right activist and lawyer Femi Falana against the Price Control Board and the Attorney General of the Federation. The organized labor, following persistent hardship across the country, issued the federal government 14 days ultimatum to honor its part of the October 2, 2023 agreement reached with labor to address the massive suffering caused by the hike in petrol prices and naira devaluation. The ultimatum, which starts counting from today, was conveyed in a joint statement signed by President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajaero, and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, Chairman Festus Osifo. The duo warned that everything must be done within 2 weeks to avoid a situation where labor might be compelled to take appropriate steps to protect Nigerian workers and masses, which will herald a nationwide protest slated to begin on Friday, February 23rd. Labour maintained that government's failure to uphold its end of the bargain was regrettable and unacceptable to the working people and the citizenry. They alleged that the widespread hunger is now reversing millions of Nigerians, with workers' purchasing power significantly eroded, while insecurity has resumed as increasing dimension. And now over to Ogun State. Government has approved the recruitment of 5,000 teachers and 250 education officers to fill the existing vacancies in the teaching service in the state. This is contained in a statement signed by Olawale Rashid, Chief Press Secretary to Governor Ademola Adeleke in Osogbo. He said that the approval for the recruitment of teachers was a sequel to the conclusion of the needs assessment conducted by the government in 2023. According to him, the council has also approved the release of 1.3 billion naira for the immediate rehabilitation of Ora Igbaminia waterworks in the Ifadayo local government area. And you're watching Midday News coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We are on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, NLPCL, CBN, seal pack on crude remittance. The news continues shortly with details of this and more stories right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us. And over now to our foreign desk, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Commission, convened an extraordinary session of its Mediation and Security Council, MSC, at the ministerial level over the decision of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic to leave the community. The session also discussed the current political situation in Senegal, where President Macky Sall postponed the presidential election earlier scheduled for late February 2024. 3 member states, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, had announced their withdrawal from ECOWAS with immediate effect through a joint communique signed by representatives of all 3 countries on 28 January 2024. To justify their action, the 3 countries outlined their grievances with ECOWAS, which include a perceived departure of ECOWAS from the Pan-African ideals of its founding fathers, a perceived influence of hostile foreign powers on ECOWAS, a feeling of abandonment by ECOWAS in their fight against terrorism, and the imposition of illegal, illegitimate, inhumane, and irresponsible daily flights to You're welcome back. Apologies for that break in transmission. We're back and better now. Still on the foreign decks, the acting Kenya High Commissioner of Nigeria, Samuel Mogore, has part of the initiative aimed at opening up Kenya to the world. The Kenya Airlines will commence daily flights to Nigeria. The High Commissioner stated this in Abuja at the Magical Kenya Road Show. He said the present government in Kenya is determined to unite Africa, and part of the process is to ensure that Nigerians can travel easily and on a daily basis to Kenya without stress. He also stated that the government of Kenya has introduced an online e-visa process where one can apply and get his or her visa approved to travel to Kenya without the rigorous process involved in visa processing before now. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected Hamas' proposed ceasefire terms, saying total victory in Gaza is possible within months. He was speaking after Hamas laid out a series of demands in response to an Israel-backed ceasefire proposal. Netanyahu said negotiations with the group were not going anywhere and described their terms as bizarre. Israel was expected to take issues with Hamas' counteroffer, but this response is a categorical rebuke, and Israel officials clearly see an effort by Hamas to end the war on its terms as earthly unacceptable. A quick look at business now. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has reached an agreement on the directive by the President for earnings from oil to be domiciled in the Apex Bank. Amid rising economic crisis, especially the free fall of the Naira, the Nigerian leader Tinubu directed the CBN to handle crude proceeds. A joint statement by the two bodies said NNPCL would domicile a significant portion of its revenues and other banking services with the Apex Bank. The decision followed a meeting between the NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari and CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso in Abuja. NNPC stated that the move would provide the national oil company with an approved platform for managing its cash holding obligatory limits, aligning with directives from the Board of Directors. The World Bank is pledging an increase in financial support to Nigeria, lauding economic reforms of the past 8 months of President Bola Tinubu's administration. The bank's managing director of operations, Aina Berde, conveyed the bank's commitment during a courtesy visit to the president at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja. Moving on now, the Nigerian Women for Agriculture process has said that most verified women farmers are yet to receive the 15 trillion naira intervention in the agricultural sector that was promised since 1999. The farmers claim few women who received them were portfolio farmers with no farmland. The national coordinator of the group, Omolara Swinson, while speaking at the Women in Agriculture and Agribusiness Convention in Abuja, lamented that many women farmers collected loans to buy farm inputs, and most of them were unable to pay them back. She urged the government to look into why many interventions given to their male counterparts have not yielded much, saying government interventions kept increasing every year, but food production kept declining. The Central Bank of Nigeria, in its recent Reserve Consumer Protection Framework, has mandated financial service providers to comply with minimum standards in their advertising and promotional materials. One of the requirements is that FSPs should not make reference to unaudited financial statements in their sales promotion. Other requirements include disclosing contact details and its regulatory authority disclosing cost of products, including all fees and other associated charges, the nature and values of benefits where an advertisement refers to or linked to other valuable added benefits, and avoiding mentioning the names of or making comparisons with competitors. The Central Bank of Nigeria has instructed regulated entities to provide customers with notices of outstanding obligations before beginning debt collection. This is to ensure that the debt recovery process is transparent, cautious, and fair. CBN stated that in a document released on its website titled Reverse Consumer Protection Regulations, it noted that the essence of the document is to ensure financial institutions follow consumer protection principles. The regulations outline consumers' rights and aimed for better outcomes and access to financial services. The document stated that foreclosure should not be initiated as a last resort after other recovery options have failed. And that's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.